Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Mahdi Tijani back with you. Today I'm going to be reacting to a discussion backwards and forwards between a brother and sister who are talking to each other with a view to marriage. I'm going to read out the message to you. It was sent to me as a snapshot by a friend. I don't think he was having this conversation. So I'm going to read the conversation out to you and then we'll take it from there. I'll give you some commentary. So the conversation starts with straight up 1K mahar. I'm presuming that's the guy, right? And then the sister replies, 20K, no less, Habibi. And then the brother responds, you do know Ali radiallahu anh gave Fatima radiallahu anha the worth of a shield, which is like $100. Now pay attention to her response, because this is where the meat of this discussion is right here. Oh, Ali radiallahu anh, the one who slept in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam bed in risk of dying so the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam can escape. The guy that fought in multiple battles. The guy who walked from Mecca to Medina whilst his feet bled. The guy who was a pious judge and then Khalifa. Yes, if a guy with all those accomplishments comes forward, I'll take $1 for my mahar. But you work at McDonald's. That was brutal. Oh Lord, that was absolutely brutal. The sister raises a point that I really want you brothers to get your head around. We can summarize this entire discussion in the following. Women make rules for men they don't rate and break rules for men they do. Women make rules for men they don't rate and break rules for men they do. When a sister is negotiating mahar with you, this is why I tell you brothers, never get into a negotiation battle about them with the mahar with a sister. Ever. Don't do this. Never. Because if she is negotiating with you in the first place, she is telling you, I don't rate you like that. I need some money to sweeten the deal because you're not enough. And the reason why I tell you is to never engage in this negotiation battle is because of the following. If she doesn't rate you like that as it is, with a minimum mahar, then even if you do pay this 20K, 40K, 100K, whatever it is, what happens by the time the money runs out? She spent all the money. Then what? She's still left with the original person, which is you, and now no mahar, which means those problems she foresaw that could occur whilst the mahar wasn't there, those problems that she foresaw that could happen because of whatever deficiency she felt you had, is going to rear its ugly head when she no longer has the sweet sugar to distract her, which is the money. When a sister says this to you, brothers, take that L and move on. You should never, ever be in a negotiation about mahar, not because of the money itself, but because of the indirect message that is being imparted onto you that you need to take heed of. Never, ever negotiate mahar. It cannot be negotiated. It shouldn't be negotiated. And if it is being negotiated, it's because the sister don't rate you. Let me tell you something. When a sister is that into you, when she wants you that bad, wallahi, she will pay you to take her. She will pay you to take her. She cannot stand the thought of losing you to someone else. If that's not the attitude and impression you're getting from a woman, she's not the one. Move on. It's okay. You don't have to have that from every single woman. And at the same time, you as a man, I implore you, I encourage you, level up. Level up, because women, they are much more intuitive. They have these spidey senses about them. And I think they've been designed that way for a reason, because they're the more vulnerable sex. Marriage for a woman contains far more hooks than it does for a man. A man can get into an intimate relationship with a woman. He's not going to fall pregnant. He might get someone pregnant, but he's not going to fall pregnant. Technically, he can just run off if he wants to and live his bachelor life. When a woman gets into an intimate relationship with a man, there are a lot more strings attached. If she falls pregnant, she's stuck. She's vulnerable. She's carrying a baby that she's going to be committed to for the rest of that kid's life. So as a result of that, women have been given or have cultivated these sort of spidey senses with regards to men. Are they always right? No, I'm not saying they're always right. I'm simply saying they're more adept at sussing you out than you are at sussing them out. So when she's telling you that, what she's telling you is, I don't rate you. And this is no more clearly represented than in this discussion right here. And that's why I tell you to level up. No, not just financially. Level up in your deen, your memorization of the Quran, your character, your personal development, your reading, your wisdom, hikmah. Level up. Separate yourself, your body. How do you look physically? Separate yourself as much as possible from the crowd. She's willing to take $1 mahar from a Ali radiallahu anh. Now you're never going to reach the position of Ali radiallahu anh, obviously. But you can sure as hell separate yourself from the average lot of men. And therein is the problem. Most men are happy remaining average. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. It is not acceptable to remain the way that you are. Even if you're exceptional, an exceptional man, you never arrive as a man, ever, until you die. The process of developing, of growing, of progressing never stops, ever, until you die. So if you're happy and comfortable in your life right now, I'm sorry, stop watching this channel, get off the channel, because this is not the one for you. I am trying to tell you how to maximize your opportunities with women. It's by separating yourself from the average lot. And this brings me on to the next message, a discussion that I had with a black pill guy. Let's get into it. Black pill, for those of you who don't know, simply means they're a group of people who have given up on women for whatever reason, typically to do with looks. They feel like they've been dealt a bad hand and there's nothing they can do about it. So I'm going to read through the discussion and provide you my commentary. And he said, "Hello, Mahdi. I was wondering what your thoughts on the black pill are. Black pill, which highlights the significance of physical appearance, attractiveness. If you're a short, unattractive man, then it was over before it ever started. Pay attention to the language. Then it was over before it ever started. If you attempt to act alpha, it comes across as pathetic to women." Absolutely 100% correct. My friend, and I'm going to send you this link afterwards, the one who I had this discussion with. If you are acting alpha, you're not alpha. Period. It shouldn't be an act. It should be. It should be who you are. And if you are not that person right now, that's okay. You can learn it. It will take time. But it's not an act. How do you learn it? By becoming it. By actually becoming it. But when you make excuses like this is beta bitch talk. Beta bitch talk. That's what it is. Impossible to be alpha when you're spouting off a narrative like this. Being alpha is not an act. It's who you genuinely are. Short or tall makes no difference. None at all. Let's carry on. You can self-improve, go to the gym, become more confident, become successful, but none of it matters because women won't find you attractive. Absolute twaddle. The one who wrote this, have you become successful? Have you become more confident by working on your confidence? Have you become more successful? Have you been to the gym for a sustained period of time whereby you've developed your body? Have you done any of this? Have you become that person who is successful and more confident and goes to the gym? Because if you haven't, you don't have the right to speak on this. Now, I can already hear you. You say, oh, but Mahdi, it's easier for you to say, you're 6'3", you're good looking, you've never had a problem getting women or attracting the attention of women, and you'd be correct. You're right. I am 6'3". I know I'm good looking, and I have never had a problem attracting women. That doesn't make me wrong. That's like saying, when rich people say, money's not everything. Money doesn't buy you happiness. Stop chasing money. It doesn't buy you happiness. And then the average layman responds, yeah, that's easy for you to say, Mr. Rich Man, the one who's got all that money, sitting there in your Ferrari. That's easy for you to say. Yes, it's easy for him to say, but he's not wrong. He's still right. He's fundamentally right. Just because he's rich doesn't make him wrong. Just because I may have been dealt a better hand than the average man doesn't make me wrong. I'm still correct on this. So my response to him was this. Then give up. Nobody will care about you and you'll die alone. Or you can deal with the hand you've been dealt and make the most of what you have. And then I reminded him, remember, Napoleon was a short, fat, bold man, hence the term Napoleon complex. Someone who has the proverbial Napoleon complex is someone who's been dealt a bad hand physically. Typically, he's a short guy as well. And he tries to overcompensate by conquering the world, essentially, which is perfectly fine. Absolutely fine. Napoleon was never in a shortage of women. Let me tell you something. something that trumps looks and all that artificial stuff for a woman is the feeling she gets from you. I am telling you, and I can't emphasize this enough. Feelings, emotions are infectious. They are infectious. You can infect people with your belief. You become like a sorcerer, like a wizard. If you speak with enough emotion and enough assertion and enough belief in something, you could be a charlatan. You could be talking a whole bunch of twaddle. But if you speak it with enough conviction, you will infect the other party with that belief. One of the most important aspects of sales, of being a successful salesman, is what? Belief in the product you're selling. Those who make the best salesmen, the most successful salesmen, the salesmen and women who sell the most, are ones who have genuine belief in their product. And the product might be a sham, by the way. Like I said, charlatans with their fake potions, but they have convinced themselves somehow. They've convinced themselves of the worthiness of their product. And as a result of that, they infect their audience. Emotions are infectious. Why do you laugh when you hear canned laughter on a comedy skit? And the joke wasn't even all that. Why do producers put the canned laughter in the first place? Canned laughter is when you hear that and it sounds so fake. Why do they do that? Because producers know that laughter is infectious. It's infectious. If I laugh, you're more likely to laugh. Crying when you watch a movie and you're watching an emotional scene and you're not quite breaking down in tears yet, but then you see one of the actors break out in really like heartfelt crying. What happens to you? You start crying. Now let me ask you a question. Does the actor who's acting that scene genuinely believe in the sadness that he's experiencing? It's an act. He's acting. But he has convinced himself of he's convinced himself of the heaviness of the scene so that he can convey that emotion to the people watching. And as a result, I cry and you cry. That's the point. Emotions are infectious, even if you don't fundamentally believe in it. Even if you don't fundamentally believe in it, just as the actor does not genuinely believe in the sadness, he's not genuinely feeling the sadness, nobody died, he's perfectly fine, it's an act. But still, he's able to convey with conviction that feeling and emotion because he was able to put his mind into a place where he could successfully act that out. And he's acting, but it works. Emotions are infectious. You can infect a woman with your confidence. You can infect her with your vision. You can infect her with where you are going. I am telling you, they can sense it. They can smell it. They can feel it. Equally, you can have a proverbial giga chad, 6'6", ripped, shredded, great physique, and he's an utter moron. He's a total moron, and he's hopeless with girls as a result. You telling me that guy doesn't exist? Of course he exists. You know this. You know that type of person exists. So what does that tell you? That yes, looks help, but not if you are not socially adept with how to deal with women in the first place. And I will tell you what's going on here. I'm going to continue reading this message. What's going on here is the following. Is that this individual who sent me this message has a deeper problem than just the hand he's been dealt. This type of message reminds me of when poor people say that they're poor because of the government, because of the council, because of insert blank here. That's what it reminds me of. You want to believe this because it fits your narrative. If you can go around telling people it's not my fault, you don't have to try. You don't have to go through the pain of trying, the pain of growth, the pain of improvement. You don't have to go through that because you can just turn around and tell people, there's nothing I can do. Isn't that so much easier? Isn't that what poor people do? There's nothing I can do. I'm helpless. I'm a victim. That's just so much easier. And I guarantee you this mindset if you adopt a mindset like this, it will infect every area of life that you enter into. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you adopt this black pill, doom pill, giving up mindset in one area of your life, believe me, it's impossible for it to not infect, like I said earlier, other areas of your life. It will. So then he says, when you're attractive, It's confidence. When you're unattractive, it's creepy. Unattractive men are treated worse. Attractive people are perceived to be smarter, funnier, and more likable. He's right. He's absolutely correct. And what he's saying is like saying, that's easy for a trust fund baby to say it's easy to make money because the trust fund baby was given £10 million to start off with. That's what he's essentially saying. Yes, you're right. The trust fund baby has an advantage on the regular broke man from a money perspective, but he has a disadvantage elsewhere. Mindset. He was unable to cultivate that through the trials of difficulty, through having to go through growth to earn that 10 million. I say the same to you. The 6'6" Giga Chad, he's been blessed with looks, but this can often bite him in the backside. I've said in my previous videos in the past that oftentimes the most beautiful women are the least socially adept. They tend to be socially retarded, and they're quite boring. And the reason why is as follows. They're so beautiful that they've never had to do anything to get attention. As a result of that, they've never had to cultivate any skills, conversational skills, how to interact, how to entertain a man, how to keep him happy. Why? Because she's just so beautiful to look at. She always gets attention. They tend to be the worst conversationalists, pretty boring women. The same can be said for men who attract women easily. They've never had to learn how to do it, and as a result, they tend to be quite socially retarded. You have an opportunity here now. Fine, you might be weak in one area. What does that mean? That you're going to have to strengthen and bolster the other area. Your conversational skills, how socially adept you are. And let me tell you something. Women are more in touch with how socially adept you are, your confidence, your energy, how you infect them with your emotion. You infect them. I am telling you, it's an infection. It's infectious. Laughter is infectious. Sadness is infectious. And confidence is infectious. What you think of yourself is exactly what she will think of you. If you think that you've been dealt a bad hand and that you're ugly and that you're not good looking and so on, then best believe she will too. But if you say to yourself, you know what? I've been dealt a bad hand, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to buy that jaw thing and improve my jawline. Do whatever the hell you have to do. And just by doing that, your confidence will increase because now you're making progress. And now you will be able to infect her with that confidence. But sitting here like this, oh, I can't do nothing, whatever. Yeah, you will infect her with that black pill, doom pill mindset. And you will stay single. And then it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because you believe this, you will infect her with that belief. And because you've infected her with that belief, now women, or this woman that you're dealing with, will give you the image that you exactly thought. I don't like him. Keep him away from me. And that serves as a self-fulfilling prophecy. On and on, cyclical, round and round it goes. But it started with you. Women settle for ugly men, maybe. Maybe they're getting too old for money, not for their looks and so on. Bottom line is, women don't get tingles over ugly men. They'd rather have a pretty boy than a masculine ugly man. This is not true, by the way. Women will prefer a masculine man who is less attractive over a good-looking man who acts like a pussy, like a femboy. No doubt about it. Ladies, tell me if I'm wrong. Comment. Let me know in the comments. Am I wrong? Would you prefer a man who looks like a man but behaves like a pussy? Or would you prefer a man who is less attractive but he conducts himself like a man? Which do you prefer? In some ways, religion has made it easier for ugly men to succeed since women are instructed to prioritize pious religious men, so may overlook certain qualities. Everything aside, though, black pill is nature. It's better people know the truth, lol, rather than in denial and coping with red pill methods. This is the problem. You think red pill is a methodology. You think it's an act. It's a script. That's your problem. You haven't become the red pill. It's not you. And women can feel it. They can sense it. Bro, you're acting. Calm down. That's the problem. You've probably faced some rejection. Even if you haven't, you will be rejected when it comes across as an act. It cannot be an act. You must become it. And how do you become it? Well, you need the confidence first to be able to believe in yourself. How do you get the confidence? Success breeds confidence. Competence breeds confidence. Work on your body. If you've got a crappy jaw, no jawline, get that. I've seen it on freaking Facebook. Some thing you put into your mouth and you like, yeah, chew down on it and it makes your jaw bigger. Do whatever the hell. I don't care, rude boy. I don't care. Do whatever you have to do. Do what you have to. Okay, you're 5 foot. Fine. Make sure that you're in shape. Make sure that you're looking good. Get your finances up. Work on here. This is the most important thing to work on, your mind. Because what you develop up here, you will infect others with. Like I'm infecting you right now with this video. Then he sends me this picture here. And you can see like you got the proverbial Giga Chad here. And then this dude here. Obviously, this guy's better looking than this, right? Fine. I respond to him, it's not the truth, it's an excuse. He says, how can you deny it? I think it's important men know where they stand. No, you want other men to give up with you because if they don't, and those men who have been dealt a lesser hand are actually end up becoming successful because of the advice I'm giving them, that will make you feel even worse. Do you see? Miserable people like to commiserate in a group. They don't want to see their fellow miserable fellows actually moving on and doing better for themselves, because that will serve to make this person here feel even worse about himself. No, he wants people to remain in this miserable part here, this miserable lot, to stay there so he can feel more validation that yes, there's many of us miserable gits in this section, in this area, in this place, in this part of the world here. I can feel better about myself. But if he sees the miserable people actually changing their situation by taking the advice on board that I'm giving right now and improving themselves and doing everything that I've already mentioned, that will serve to make him feel even worse. Onion layer peeler. Peeling through the onion layers. I think it's more important men know where they stand. No, you want more men to stay where you are because that makes you feel better about yourself. Hell no. You think your wife would have wanted you if you were 5'5", everything else exactly the same, but just short her, ask her. Again, I'm not denying that I have a natural advantage being a 6'3" male. I accept. But just because the rich person says it's not all about money in life, doesn't mean the rich person is wrong. Plenty of 5'5" men, 5 foot men, who have been extraordinarily successful with women because of how they operate up here. They infect with women with their confidence, with their swagger, with who they are. It is infectious. All of those defenses melt. The women's defenses melt when they come into contact with these type of men. But not with someone with this mindset. No. Those defenses, those walls go up twice as quickly. It's wrong to tell men their lack of success is because they're not alpha enough, when in reality, they're just not good looking enough. Oh, man. I feel infected with your miserable outlook of life. You are infecting me with your miserable outlook. And this is why the company that you choose to keep is so important. So important. If you find someone who speaks like this, or someone else who says, oh, we can't get rich because the rich people are evil and all that nonsense, cut ties. Cut ties. Cut ties. I don't care who they are. Cut ties. Because they will infect you with their mindset. Avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. One of the laws of power in Robert Greene's book. Avoid them at all costs. They are infectious with their belief system. Gentlemen, I'm not here to convince you otherwise. You either understand the message that I'm giving you here, or you don't. And if you start writing in the comments, oh no, but it's this and that and the other, I'm not even going to respond to you. I don't give a shit. I don't care about your freaking excuses. I don't give a damn about them. I want to know what you are doing to change your situation, to alter your situation, to improve upon the bad hand you have been dealt. Because this mindset, if you believe it, it will infect many different areas of your life. All different areas of your life. You will start to give up and lose hope in so many different areas. Be careful. If you found value in this video, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and share this with someone. And if you want to deep dive, if you want to associate yourself with positive minded, positive outlook, completely different, opposite to this, You want to associate yourself with those type of men? Then hit the link in the description and join my private Patreon community. We have a Patreon call every single month. Plenty of banned content that I put up there as well. The next Patreon call will be actually the end of this week, the end of this coming week now. Hit that link, join up. For $9.95 a month, you will completely transform your mindset. Completely transform your mindset. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.